Hi, Ben Kingsley here, Managing Director of Empower Wealth. Hello and welcome to my annual festive season message to you, our valued customers. Now, I started delivering these messages all the way back in 2017. So this is the 6th year that I get to deliver this message where I talk about the broader market and also hone in terms of how we can help you as our valued customers. And this year has been in stark contrast to what we saw in 2021. We were dealing with the Delta strain, we were housed indoors, we were isolated. We were just starting to basically open up. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that from all of that time, we were dealing with all of those particular issues. We saw Victoria, New South Wales in lockdowns, borders were slowly reopening. And from a property market point of view, it was a completely different story. It was a real seller's market where we saw cheap interest rates, so cheap money was obviously, leading to strong demand levels, which also meant that property values are on the march. Now, this year, we're also still dealing with the pandemic, and we are still seeing high levels of hospitalisation. And sadly, during this obviously festive season as well, we're still seeing people lose their lives from this coronavirus. On a more positive note, though, we do have a lot of our freedoms back. There's obviously freedom of movement, and that's resulting us getting back on with our lives as we return back to work. And for some of us fortunate enough to be able to travel and visit those loved ones around Australia and also overseas. So that has been obviously a constant over the last 12 months. The other big, significant and also shocking event of 2022, when we look more globally, was Russia's invasion of Ukraine that happened in February. Now, Russia, through this action, has really demonstrated what I would consider the worst of humankind. And, obviously, as we turn to celebrate and start being more positive about this festive season, we are obviously always reminded of those in Ukraine and the struggles that they're dealing with right now through this difficult period. So our thoughts and prayers are with them over there during this difficult time. Now, this war set off, obviously, an economic events that has led to rampant inflation. So it was obviously, we saw that inflation travel through most of the developed world, and certainly Australia wasn't immune to that. So we did see a forced slowdown in the Australian economy, and that's just now starting to take shape as we see the RBA lifting those cash rates very aggressively to rein in inflation. And we're also seeing, that's affected with Russia as well, those energy costs and those transportation costs, which has also flowed through to cost of living as well. So we're seeing those cost of living pressures. And if we combine that with one of the biggest domestic events, which is record levels of rainfall and flooding, which has also impacted crops, and we're seeing a bit of food inflation in there as well. So it hasn't been smooth sailing. So as I sit here and record this message to you in December of 2022, we find ourselves in a very different economic situation than where we were last year. And also looking into 2023, we find ourselves in a situation where we will see the economy slowing further, and that's obviously going to impact households in different ways. So my Christmas message to those who have to tighten their belt is hopefully we want to remind them that we're here for you. And there's a couple of ways in which we can pass on that message to you, and some of the things that you may want to think about if you do find yourself needing to tighten the household budget and look after that. The first one is obviously our MoneySMARTS platform, and that's MoneySMARTS money management system available on our Moor Platform. That is a great way to organise and forecast the next 12 months of spending, to understand what sort of surpluses you have and to adjust that budget. So that's number one. Number two is our MoneySTRETCH product. And that little tool is excellent. It's also available inside the Moor Platform, and it allows you to go into the platform and start to play around with some of those additional costs, namely for those of us who are carrying mortgages, the increased repayment costs that we have that we're availed to in terms of our mortgages and being able to deal with that. So you're able to use that tool to then measure cash flows to try and predict basically how your buffers will hold up in this changing environment. Now, for those of you who haven't heard that word more before, we have made a couple of announcements throughout the year in terms of that is the rebranding of the My Wealth portal, which we've got thousands and thousands of our clients on. That is now called Moorr, and it's a cloud-based platform. It's spelled MOORR, and it's free for all of our customers to use. So I encourage you to have a look at that. And obviously, the big development recently has been the fact that we've moved to a mobile version of that. So it's available also for download free from Apple, the App Store, and also from Google Play in the Android environment. So if you haven't already set yourself up in terms of organizing your goal setting and your money management through that platform, I highly encourage you to check that out. And my third important point for those people who are also challenged around tightening the family budget is reach out to us. We are here to help. That is our job. So if you're in a situation where you want to talk about your finances, maybe also around those repayment levels and seeing if there's any way in which we can adjust or help with that cash flow, please reach out to us. It's really important for you to know that we are here for you when it comes to dealing with those difficult challenges if you are facing a tightening budget. Now, there is also those who are fortunate enough to potentially see opportunity and take advantage of that opportunity as it presents itself in the market today. And so, this is obviously where you may be able to fast track your pathway towards financial peace and take advantage of the market situations as they currently are. And so my message to those fortunate clients is to again look at the Moor platform. We've got some exciting new developments and some new insights that are coming in sort of hopefully late January of next year. So really, really early into the new year, we'll be starting to focus on giving you some of those insights where you may be able to see some opportunity for yourselves. And if you already know that you've got that opportunity available to you, again, why not think about reaching out to us in January and having a chat with us, and we can work out some of the best ways for you to move forward and take advantage of these times as well. Now, of course, from my point of view, during this festive season, as part of the tradition each year, I do want to share with you some of the client numbers over the last 12 months and just give you some perspective of the way in which we help serve you, our customers. So I just want to run through those numbers. Let's look at the property wealth planning division. And so this is all of our property investment advisory work that we do. So over the last 12 months, we've delivered another 640 property and portfolio plans, and we've recommended over 1.1 billion of property purchases throughout the course of those plans for those clients who are using property as part of that investment vehicle. Now, historically, this brings our total to over 3,600 plans that we've been able to deliver to our customers, and we've recommended over $5.3 billion worth of property purchase recommendations. So for me, that they are obviously very humbling numbers in terms of how we've been able to serve. From the mortgage broking business, in the last 12 months, over 2,200 loan submissions, and that's over 1.1 billion in loans settled over that calendar year. So again, helping those clients, reviewing those particular client numbers, and for those who are purchasing properties, we've been able to support them as part of that journey. Our buyers agency side of the business, it's been another year of over 500 purchases, and that's a little over $365 million worth of purchases in the last 12 months. Now, historically speaking, that brings our property purchases to almost 2,500 purchases since we started the business way back when. And that is also to the value of $1.65 billion of property values over that time. The financial planning part of the business, I'm really pleased to report that there's over 1,800 clients that we protect from an insurance point of view. You are your biggest asset, so that's always important to know that you have protection around that. And from a superannuation and funds under management point of view, we're now helping our clients with over $181 million worth of investments that we help manage for our clients in terms of super and also manage funds. Our tax and personal accounting business is only in its second year, and I'm really pleased to report over 920 clients are using our tax return services this year. So that's been a real boost in terms of being able to provide that holistic approach. When we start to think about the other parts of or ways in which we help the Empower Wealth community, We have our educational courses, our Start and Build course, and I'm pleased to say there was another 529 people who acquired that online training course, and that takes the number of people who have access to that training course to over 1,000 people over the past 2 years. I mentioned the Moor Platform earlier. This is obviously a very important part in terms of organising your financial affairs and helping manage your household when you start to think about goal setting, day-to-day management of money, property management, and also the wealth management and wealth creation story. So there is so much more exciting news that we'll be sharing you with around the Moor Platform in 2023. But it's pleasing to note over 25,000 households are engaged in using that platform currently. Our Property Couch podcast, some of the great work that Bryce and I get to do and share some of the knowledge. We're pleased to say we hit another milestone of over 18 million downloads, and that will continue to be a great avenue in which you can get continual education around property finance and money management. In regards to our books, we're very proud of the books that we have in the marketplace. The Armchair Guide to Property Investing, we've sold over 41,000 copies of that book. And the Make Money Simple Again book, which is free to download at any time at all. Just Google Make Money Simple Again and you can free download that. Over 42,000 people have taken advantage of downloading that book. And that has the MoneySMARTS money management system available in there as well. So that's how it's basically the instruction guide in terms of how you run the MoneySMARTS system. And so that also gives you access to the Moor Platform. And remember, it's completely free to be able to access the Moor Platform as well. Thinking about the business, we also see that the Google reviews continue to show evidence that our customers are really happy with how we're looking after them. So across both our Melbourne and Sydney offices, we now have 630 five-star reviews, which is very pleasing indeed. And although our awards is not why we do what we do, it's really pleasing to get some of that peer recognition. So some of those major awards, we had the Major Brokerage of the Year award at the National Australian Brokering Awards. We took that out 2 years in a row. In terms of a champion brokerage for the AFG aggregation group, the MPA magazine top brokerage for 2022, five-star mortgage innovator. So that's all of that innovation work and what we're doing in terms of the Moor Platform as well. And then countless awards around top new brokers, best loan administrators, top 50 brokers, 150 brokers, rising star. So really strong awards in areas as we're excelling in terms of providing those services. Which sort of brings me to the final point. We hit a really significant milestone in 2022, and that was we were able to, through our products and services, to be able to reach out to 10,000 customers since inception in 2007. And so that has been a significant milestone, and I'm super proud of the team in terms of the work we've been able to provide for you, as our valued customers. So another huge year in serving our community. And, we live this mission in being able to help build wealthier tomorrows for you as our valued clients. So from the entire team here at Empower Wealth, I want to wish you all the very, very best for the festive season. And may 2023 be a safe, healthy, and prosperous year for you and your family. A very, very big Merry Christmas from the team here at Empower Wealth.